For the latest top tips, reviews and advice, please subscribe below.
Hello and welcome to Attwoolls Outdoors with me, Mike. Today I'm going to give you guys a bit of a review video on a product from Zempire. So this here is the Zempire Aerobase. Now the Zempire Aerobase has been around for a little while now, and it basically comes in 3 different sizes. So you do a 2, 3 and a 4, and it reverts to obviously how big they essentially are. With me today I've actually got the Aerobase 3, which actually is 3.5 by 3.5 meters. So probably the most popular by far and away in terms of size, in terms of space, and I think price point works as well. The Aerobase 2 runs about sort of 2.8 by 2.8, and then the 4 is 4.2 by 4.2. So the way it kind of works is you sort of start a base unit with a 2 at 2 and 8, you jump up 70 centimeters to 3.5, another 70, 4.2. So you kind of choose how big you want it to. All of the Aerobases I mentioned are inflatable, hence the kind of aero kind of style of it. So it's quick and easy to put up, and you can see from our own Attwoolls pitching and packing videos, I did this model on my own best part of about 9-10 minutes. Pegged out, got out of the works, which means that it's flexible. You can take away for a sort of week or even a weekend, or use for, say, sports events for kids, for anything like that. It comes included with one complete side, deluxe side wall as well. But the main sort of big change going forward to 2021 is the fact that there's new kind of baffle / link that allows you to connect it onto tents. So suddenly you've got this kind of seamless area where you go from your sort of main cooking facility or a communal area amongst friends with a direct comparison straight in to the main body of tent. And we'll pick the camera up in due course and have a bit of a look at it. You've got a single inflation point, so like I said, quick and easy to pump up. So one point here will pump up the whole point. You've then got additional fiberglass poles which give us a kind of geodesic kind of system. It gives you a bit more shelter. It means that you sort of, rather than sort of sloping and losing this extra space, you've got almost like a dead vertical sidewall. It means that when the sidewall's in place, you're maximising every square inch. What you find with a lot of shelters is they kind of arc in. So even though they're about 3.5 at the base, as soon as you get in, they're really more 3 by 3, and that's why you don't really lose that with this. You get some really heavy duty sort of sand pegs as well. So if you want to take it to the beach, you can do that as well. And it's got an easy pegging system. So you've got a single pegging point for each guide point. Brace it at 3 different points. You can, if you want to do, you've got extra tabs as well, that you can add extra parts to it. And you can even go to the extent that you can buy connectors, so you can connect one to another. So you can connect an Aerobase 3 to an Aerobase 3. Suddenly you've got, you know, 7 meters plus the connection all in one big area. And that's where I really do like the concept of this, the connection piece to the tents. So with me today, I've got the Aero TL, Evo TL, sorry, onto the Aerobase. And you almost can create, in a mad world, you can almost create this perfect little hub. So you've got your little hub center, and it's like a dome-style tent version of tents, where you've got a tent off every direction. And the same, probably if I use the 3 as a basis, which is probably really the best selling size, you'll then be able to get like an XL and Evo XL and all these extra sort of attachments. So you don't have to have all the same tents. You can have loads of different tents, but interconnected in this one giant kind of communal base, really. But let's pick the camera up and have a little look on about the sidewalls. So like I said, you've got a deluxe sidewalls, which you get one initially included with the awning, but it comes, one is all, you know, one sidewall, for example, is all you pretty much need. So whereas other manufacturers, you find that you've got a sun wall, you've got a mesh sun wall, you've got a sun door. With this, everything is in the one unit. So you've got the blank door as we see it here. You've then got a physical zip, full-on mesh panel located behind it. Again, if you want to, you can actually roll this down, toggle it up, and then you've got maximising airspace. And as you can probably kind of see as well, is you also got this ability that you can bring the door from right to left. So it's a wall, door, and a mesh panel all in one. So plus the fact that actually in terms of its attachment, it's not kind of clipping onto a frame, but it's a physical zip. So it's a much stronger zip panel. So what I'll do is bring that in there, bring it halfway, and then you can just roll the door back. Toggle point comes round, and then through that little eyelet down there. once you've got the knack of it. It's these are actually grab the eyelets. So then you got, say, your sort of side door panel, if you will. And again, there's a second point down the bottom here. So you want to do the same idea, you can do so. So because of the fact you've also got 2 zip pullers, you can go from right to left or left to right. So again, if I wanted to, what I can also do, it's daisy, let's get that tidy. You always have just a middle panel. So you've got a middle section there, you've got an in and outdoor, health and safety for your COVID sort of style. But again, it just means you've got ultimate flexibility. You can have it left to right or right to left. So you're not sort of, as wind or weather changes, you can, you know, change the direction that the panel opens up. The panels can be bought additionally, so you know you can have this completely enclosed. And as I said before, you've got one panel completely included. You've also got this little clear sort of baffle again to divert the rain away from the zip, so it means you're not going to get zip sort of water ingress through that zip. You've got other things such as additional roof ventilation points, which I'll probably bring the camera in. I'll grab that in a second, have a look at that. But probably actually now you can see a bit clearer, you've got the fiberglass poles, so you can sort of insert the poles, flick it in place, and like I said, straight away I'm on this sort of webbing strap which kind of holds all the points together, but I can stand up quite happily dead in the middle, and to be fair, even in the corners, I'm about 6'2", it feels really nice and roomy in here. You've got a really nice heavy duty zip as well, a little Velcro tab so the pole can just cross over the point and almost in many ways kind of brace it out a bit more. But we've also got a hanging point and a lantern, so let's grab the camera and have a bit more look at that. So you've got hanging points as well as big vents up top here. So you've got these little vent panels, you can open and close it as you need to. The webbing, little hanging point for a lantern located there as well, and little Velcro tabs leading down to a point. Each individual point has also a mesh pocket down the bottom here, so if you want to be ultimately lazy and not sort of unzip you know, and undetach it, you can literally just unzip it all down, chuck it in the pocket down the corner, and jobs are good. And as we kind of come look from the outside looking in, you can probably see that ventilation point at the top there. Like you see, it's just open, so it gives you the ultimate of airflow. As we come back down, you can truly see kind of that, the way that tent works in, and it's absolutely brilliant. That little additional bit that takes you from your main sort of cooking, living, or communal area, then suddenly next thing you know, you're into a tent. So you've still got your own divisional door, but all of a sudden you've got this beautiful big open space to and from. So it gives you flexibility that you're going away for a smaller period of time. You just put a tent up. Alternatively, you then put up the actual gazebo. And if you want to connect them if it's really bad weather, then like I said, you've got a sheltered area all the way through. We'll have a look on the outside as well, just to kind of look at what it's like. But so you got, it's only really the kind of free model that you'll be able to connect it to the tents, but as you can see there, it just pitches really nice. You get that whole section really nice and taut. But that's probably one of my favourite things for 2021, I think, just because I love how seamless it is. It just sits well, and it's almost like it's perfectly designed for that, even though it's kind of one has been made sort of two. Traditional kind of Zempire style, you've still got little details involved, so you've got heavy duty kind of reinforced webbing on all of the main points. You've got sort of gold coloured analysed sort of puller, sort of adjusters for guy ropes. You've got that's the door panel system, as you can see there. You've got this kind of boxy frame. I mentioned obviously the hard wearing sand pegs, which are brilliant for sort of grounded, sort of harder ground as well, or soft ground. But it just pitches really well, suits really nicely. And you know, in an ideal scenario, like I think if you had this on a campsite, you would absolutely turn heads, and I think it would be definitely the envy of the campsite, if you will, just because, you know, interior space wise and flexibility wise, you couldn't have a better area. You've got almost like your big massive awning, your sort of in between section in terms of the awning of the tent, the main body or main sort of living area of the actual tent itself, then sleeping area. So you've suddenly got a hub which are real friendly, table in the middle, cards, and way to go. So yeah, I like it. I think it's brilliant. You know, how many people will actually use it in this kind of format, I don't know, but I think it's one of those things. If you saw it, you'd go, I want that. And a lot of our members of staff have now actually gone out and actually bought the two just to have that connecting piece, to have that whole little tub. So it's kind of, if it's not good for consumers, then the people who are in the trade, we really quite like it as well. So, but by all means, click the link below in this video. It'll take you straight through to our website. We've got all the details of the shelters, as well as the other bits and bobs in terms of the connection pieces, the tents. We've also got a separate video on the Pro version of this, which is exactly the same, just in the Pro fabric to match the Pro Aero tents. But yeah, let us know what you think. Comment box below, or you can always subscribe to our YouTube channel, and it will give you up to date with the latest sort of videos and different things we got on the go. But thank you again for watching, and we'll see you again soon.